Yesterday was a tough one. Coincidentally, I happened to be on the island before the third mainland bridge
was shut.
Oworonshoki link third mainland bridge
rather.
was blocked. And I think that really starts our very first story on Wake Up Conversations. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Well, yesterday we heard that some people got home in the wee hours of the night, and some still haven't gotten themselves up until now, because if you got home around 12, 1 a.m., then you might just want to drop a little text message to your boss telling him that you'll be taking today off. Hopefully, they agree. But that's because there was a demolition. A very big conversation ensued online concerning what took place yesterday. Now, many have attacked, in quotes, through their conversations on X, on social media, everywhere. Netizens, Nigerians are saying that the government has picked the wrong time to have done this. It should have been a time where, they would have been given enough notification in terms of time to prepare themselves and let them know that this demolition will take place pretty soon. But it didn't seem that way, and everyone is... Anyway, you know what? Don't take my words for it. Let's just take a look at some of the videos that we do have concerning the demolition that took place at Oworonshoki yesterday.
For everybody, it was on radio, it was on Yoruba, it was on Wazobia. For almost 1 year, people didn't show up. It's only one building here that got approval. Only one. They came and marked. Some of you will believe them. We are government officials, and some of us paid our money to go to school. We are not dogs. We are not agents of destruction. But we want development. If we have to do development, some people are going to be affected. And because they don't want it to affect you, they told you, they gave you enough time. Over 3 years, 2 years later, a year, months. They were here even about 2-3 weeks ago. None of you went, you are still carrying a survey plan. Anybody can take survey plan. Any non-entity can take survey plan. I can take survey plan that doesn't belong to me. That doesn't belong to me. Why don't we do the right thing? Now they are removing. Everybody is there now. It's not government. You send this and send it to the NGO people. They use you and collect money on you. They are not doing any help for you. Is this how their country is? If this is how their country is, why
So that was a drama yesterday. Residents of the Lekki Oworonshoki axis were told to evacuate. According to what we heard there, they were given adequate notice. But they protested and said that the notice was not enough, that they should have been given more time, and therefore they decided to hit the bridge, walk, block, do all they could yesterday until later on, where the police had to find a way to disperse the crowd and restore order so that commuters can actually find their way home. But that's the latest story. We've seen a series of demolitions across Lagos State, and the question simply remains, is this the right time for it? We also did see the commissioner who made clear in terms that the residents were given adequate time. There were radio adverts, there were mentions, they were being told they had to evacuate that particular area. But in all of this, guys, regardless of what has happened, my point is, so all the buildings there, who gave them the approval?
In the first place.
Who gave them the approval? Who certified that as residents, as homeowners, you therefore can have your property built here? These are the documents.
Were they paying land use charges?
They were.
Were they paying
Many
taxes?
of them said they were.
Wow.
So again, I mean, I agree with you. How did they get there in the first place? And I think that's how we need to tighten our processes to ensure that we don't cause maximum damage to Nigerians. When you come about with the demolition, you may have the best reason. It may be because you want to do flood control, or you want to, I mean, you can
Urban renewal.
Urban renewal, regional planning, for whatever reasons you have, right? However, it must not be at the detriment of the average Nigerian. And to prevent situations like this from happening, what must be done is we must tighten our housing planning. We must tighten the controls, ensure that the giving of notice is done the right way, and that there's some sort of system that ensures monitoring while the building is ongoing. Because a plan was cutting. These buildings were erected. They've been there for a long time.
Millions.
Millions. Money is lost. People displaced. All of a sudden, these people have become internally displaced persons, not because of insecurity or anything, but because their government has kicked them out of their abode. There's also the video of that woman. I think her name is Mommy Glee. Look at the gorgeous house she had before. Look at what it was before. This is where she lived. And from this, it then metamorphosed into a pile of rubble because of the demolition. These are real people that have lives. Whilst I completely agree that the government must do what it needs to do in terms of improving the quality of our buildings, our structures, ensuring that there is urban planning, but it should not be at the detriment of everyday Nigerian. Look at that house was before. This is the after.
I mean, it's quite
It's sad.
sad. And things should be done with the human face.
Okay.
And also transparency in dealing, because there are different stories that have been bandied around. And ideally, it will be nice if you can get officials of the Lagos State Building Control Agency to
come
tell
and
their
explain
side
what happened.
of the story
And-
and the reasons for this evictions in the first place.
And
for
there are
these
people
demolitions.
that the houses here aren't just about fancy houses, or the people whose legacy, whose families, that would be the homes they grew up in.
Yeah.
History.
There's history
The parents
tied
that
to a
built
number
that-
of these
built that,
properties.
yeah.
Unfortunately, history that is lost.
It's
People
gone.
standing there looking at what their fathers and their fathers' fathers have worked for all come to ruins. Why? Because there's a demolition, there's an order. It's really sad. I saw the address that was given by the Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Ministry of Urban Development, Bola Owodunni Oki, when he was addressing them and telling them that they've had enough time and they
We
need
did
to
see
make
that
use of the
circular
time.
there. That notice there. It read on the 12th of May, and many have said that it came way back. And he's also corroborating that release, that statement, that clarity to the people, the residents, and letting them know that, listen, you had enough time to have moved. But in all of this, we know that Lagos State is faced with a very chaotic situation in terms of its population. Do we have enough housing for people who live in Lagos? That's a different conversation many would want to have. Also, the houses that are available, are they affordable? Because everyone who has been evicted from this accommodation, and why did they choose to do it at midnight? It's usually done at midnight. And it rained yesterday as well. So people are at a state where currently, if you find yourself in that situation,
Very vulnerable.
you are very vulnerable. You are at your lowest ebb. You do not know where to go to again, and you do not know what to do at this point. So you couldn't have blamed them from hopping on the streets, the express, and protesting. But then again, we must also not allow ourselves to take laws into our hands, because notifications were given earlier on.
But I've seen some reports, and I don't know, I'm hoping that we can get that. There are people who have claimed that the manner in which this was done, beyond it being done at night, someone on X had shared a personal experience of a loved one who said they were tear gassed.
Oh yes, yes, yes. That was done when they were told to leave.
You know? So at the end of the day, it's important for a state to involve itself in regional planning, urban planning, but development must have the face of humanity. You cannot do development at the detriment of Lagosians, at the detriment of Nigerians. These people, for no doing of theirs, will become internally displaced persons. Development must have a human face.
Where would they go to? Especially we're looking at the cost of house rent. So for me, it's basically two things. One, I think the timing. The timing is not favorable at all. And many would say, okay, even if they decided to postpone, it would still not be favorable. But in this case, I think it's not favorable because, one, we know what the cost of renting and accommodation simply is now, especially with the current state of the economy. It's really bad. So another thing is, could there have been sensitization process where the government would have come to visit them over a period of 3 months to inform them that we're going to demolish you, everybody gather around, let's tell you why and how. I think maybe that could have been, and they could have recorded that, you know, put it on video and camera, let them know that we did this. But this is my main grounds with all of these things that are happening, Big and Olive. My ground simply is this. Who are the Lagos state officials who approved these buildings? Whether it is 6 years ago, whether it is during former Governor Fashola's time, who are they?
20 years ago.
Or 20 years ago. Who are they? Okay, even if they no longer work in the ministry, can the ministry see that, whether they like it or not, they've also been culpable in ensuring that they had granted people permits to build their houses, and therefore they're now coming back 20 years later? And this is the reason why when you see headlines that says investor confidence is back, you start to wonder, when an investor sees videos like these, is he really going to have the confidence to say, okay, I'm coming back?
I mean, even ordinary Nigerians are very skeptical about investing in real estate.
I'm one of them.
Anything could happen.
I'm one of them.
And just looking at documents doesn't guarantee its authenticity, because things happen, and we can see what's happening here. Imagine if you had an investment in the Oworonshoki area so many years ago, and this is happening. They'll show you survey plan, this approval, and all of that. You see people living in the neighborhood, you think everything is fine, and then one day in the middle of the night, they tell you you have to pack your things.
After you must have invested.
Remember the same thing happened last year in Maryland, where the number of people who went to bed and woke up in the morning. I remember Isabella, TV personality Isabella Akinsheye. She was here as a guest on the show to detail her own account. Like, she was barely rushing to pick up her things because they were demolishing. People were in their buildings screaming. It was a sorry sight. They made a lot of noise. Nothing happened about it. Everybody moved on to the next story. Again, development is important, but development must have a human face. We cannot make Lagos a mega city at the detriment of the everyday innocent Nigerians. And we cannot turn Nigerians into internally displaced persons. And this is them becoming IDPs, not because of war or certain other issues or natural disasters. This feels like a man-made disaster. That's what it feels like.
Anyway, if you just tuned in, this is Breakfast Central, and we're hoping that maybe very soon they'll be able to get, some form of soccer as well. Let's take reactions.
Of course, let's see what Nigerians are saying about the Oworonshoki demolition. And now on X, what Nigerians are saying. Omoyele Showore says, the people of Oworonshoki, whose ancestral homes are being destroyed by Jide Sanwo-Olu's demolition squad, are rising against their oppressors on the Lagos mainland. The Lagos state government has never been interested in building homes for the poor, only in demolishing their homes so the rich can steal more land. Hashtag revolution now. The next tweet, Africa, okay, this one says, the ongoing demolition in Lagos state since this administration is not just about development. It's about people losing their ancestral homes and dignity. Once again, Lagos state is pushing out the poor without any plan to house them, while the rich circle in to grab the land. Let's get it straight. Development is necessary, yes, but true progress does not come from bulldozers and evictions. It comes from inclusive planning, affordable housing, and respect for human lives. What we're seeing is not urban renewal, it's urban displacement, and it deepens the inequality that already threatens Lagos's future. Very well said, Tijas Kid. Oworo land belongs to Lagos indigents named Awori is one of their settlements over 500 years ago. There is no way the state government will demolish legal houses without proper notice, relocation, and compensation. Anyone that builds close to waterfront should be ready to move anytime as development changes plans. So who gave the plan, the permits for them to build in waterfront?
I mean, some of them have been from...
All right, this person says, this is my community. I was present at the demolition. I did my findings, and I found out they had been told to move since last year.
There you go.
They ignored the message. In fact, some agents still collected new payment from new tenants, knowing fully well they had been told to vacate. Okay. Thank you, Idon of Lagos. The blog, Prince Blog says, they're not just protesting, they're fighting for their right to exist in a city that seems to value luxury developments over human lives. This isn't just about homes. It's about the heart of the community being ripped apart. Will Lagos listen, or will it continue to prioritize profit over people?
Food for thought.
A lot.
So I think what then we need to do is find out how can we safeguard against repeat occurrences of incidences like this. Because like we've said, the agents that will take advantage of this will always still take advantage of this. They will still sell properties to people. They will still tell you it has good title, good C of O, this and that. How do we then safeguard against, things like this happening? And I think that's a conversation we need to have.
Due diligence?
I mean, personally, I think I have the solution to this. I'll be honest. Lagos State currently should invest in, Lagos State boasts of being at the forefront of technology. This is where they need to show it. So this is where you have a website that actually works, where people can get updates. If anybody tells you, oh, there's a property here, the website should be accessible, easy, and gives you direct link. There should be hotlines, because property is the biggest thing selling now in Lagos State.
They're currently regulating the...
Yes, of course, the rent, landlord, tenancy laws, rules, and all that.
And apart from that, property developers, they have a list, and they published the list the other day.
But Benga, this is my fear. Should Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu leave office with the commissioners who have worked tirelessly to ensure they bring sanity, how are you certain that the next set of individuals who will come in?
And that's why you have civil servants and permanent
continuity. When former Governor Ambode was fixing bus stops, trying to take away downfall from the road, we all thought there would be continuity. What's happening now? So it's sad, to be honest. I don't think it's anyway. Let's move away from that story to another one. This time it's another interesting one. I'm sure Olive and Benga would like this one. The FCT police is warning residents, if you live in the Federal Capital Territory, you're being warned not to bribe traffic officers.
Or induce.
Yes, or induce, or give them something.
So what is a bribe?
Good question. Bribe is, Oga, let me just do turn here, I beg, no vex. All this one.
So
that's bribe.
What is a bribe?
No, I've told you.
No,
we have a lawyer.
I need to define it.
In the studio.
A bribe is something of value that is offered, given, received, or solicited with the intent to influence the actions or decisions of a person in a position of trust, power, or authority. So I'm driving and I see a police officer under the sun. Knowing that every day I'm talking about how they don't have adequate welfare and they're not being properly paid. And out of the goodness of my heart, I decide to give him 1,000 naira to buy a bottle of water. Of course, it's not like I have everything sorted. My papers are okay. I'm not doing that because I don't want him to check me. And he says, oh, Auntie, anything for the boys. And I say, yeah, take. Does that constitute bribe?
No.
Well, according to the FCT minister, you shouldn't even give them money. Yes. FCT Commissioner of Police, I beg your pardon.
So the tweet says it is unlawful to give our officers money or any form of inducement while they are performing their duty. Let them discharge their responsibilities diligently without
interference.
So the
You're
money is
interfering with that 1,000 naira.
The Nigeria Police Force is committed to serving you with integrity. Your cooperation is vital. Together, we can build a safer society. If you witness any unprofessional act by our officers, please report immediately via our CRU 0810-7314192, or you can call the FCT Police Emergency 080-3200-3000. 3913.
Yeah, this is the level of professionalism that we aspire to see the Nigerian police in. And I wish all police commands, apart from the FCT, will adopt this state of mind.
Remember this our guy.
Remember this guy?
This level of professionalism.
Do you remember this our guy that collected money and his guy said, yeah, return it? Is he not the one?
No, it's not.
No, this
Not
one
the
is the one that said, where are they going? That that they need money for fuel, you know. So does this mean that
all these things need to stop? We need a professional police that is going to protect and serve the Nigerian people. And Nigerians also, you've listened to the Commissioner of Police and the FCT. They're not beggars. They're discharging their constitutional duties and they earn a living.
So don't distract them with money.
So don't distract them with money and
I like
offer
it.
money.
I like it.
Yes, because nobody is offering. The typist, the receptionist that is working in our office. Do Nigerians go to the office and
exactly? And I like it.
And their road. Look, the drain docks in Lagos State. The people that clear the drainage. How many times have you stopped by to offer them something? The women that clean and sweep the roads every day. How many? Is it because they're not carrying weapons? Why don't we stop by and also encourage them that please buy water?
Benga, I love this.
It's a job.
I think
There's
the
dignity-
CP of
there's
Lagos
dignity
State
in
should
labor.
emulate as well.
They carry
CP of
weapons, just
Lagos
like their
State,
own
Zapara
weapons.
State, all the 36 state commands.
Don't
should
disturb
adopt this.
policemen.
Don't
Let them do their
their
job.
I was about to crack a dry joke. but
Don't
let me
disturb
skip
them.
that one.
But what if a police officer comes to you like this one?
Did this young man not know he was?
So I
recorded?
never
understand
knew.
completely
You never
what
knew.
the FCT police command is trying to achieve, and in a sense, I agree with it. They're trying to bring some sort of decorum, respect,
And
and
discipline.
dignity back to the Nigerian police, where the Nigerian police is not seen as a beggarly profession. It's a respected
bless you.
profession where, these are individuals in uniforms, and when you see a uniformed person, there's a certain regard that comes with being a uniformed person. When you go abroad, if you go to London,
And why
you see
always-
you see the British police, you see them, there's just this
The way
aura, the way they carry
with
themselves.
poise and dignity.
Exactly.
You're even
So you
talking
want
of
that-
London. Go to Ghana.
Exactly. You want
Very
that
well
poise,
dressed.
that
Sharp.
finesse that surrounds, that should surround that uniform. There's a certain authority that uniform should wield. And I think that that's what the FCT Police Command is trying to restore.
And for those-
I love
understand
this.
that,
And
and I
it's-
agree with it.
It's
I
not
love
the
this.
only uniform profession. Do you see NSCDC, or maybe because we interact with them most, do you see Nigerian Army, Air Force, NSCDC, Fire Service, Civil Defense going around and extorting people?
Anyway, let's take reactions quickly. Let's see what Nigerians are saying. And this is what they're saying on social media. Netizens are saying, there are some words you use up there. Diligently, correctly used, integrity. Shame
Yeah, you never
minus
minus
me.
me.
Integrity could mean
I don't
aspire, and
It's aspirational.
exactly,
Okay.
aspiration.
Oga, you guys should sit this one out. Your institution is incapable of controlling bribes that your men collect. You guys should set examples by conducting some recorded sports checks and punishing the culprits, but first, prove that police officers are well paid and catered for. This is a balance, and I like it. The end part says, take care of them, and then this message would fly. Akinwale says, I don't think any right-thinking Nigerian have issues with your submission, but the problem therein is your officers. They go beg stylishly, and eventually, forcefully, to justify the begging, they will auto-generate
Auto-generate.
I'm done.
ChatGPT, please
I'm
give me
done.
an
Please go ahead.
offense.
This is not auto-generate offense. What is that?
Where's the...
Adepit says, or Adepite says, but this number is too long. If one is held at gunpoint, I suggest it should be like we have it
Exactly.
in other advanced countries, just 3 digits. It can easily be dialed without quoting the attention of another person. That's true. You could dial at least maybe 114, 115, and then you're good.
Held at gunpoint. I didn't know the Nigerian police move around with super glue or gum.
Nobody wants to give your officers any penny. They're greedy, covetous, and always demanding directly or indirectly, Oga, we could drink water. Anything for us. At all, I'm bad pass. So improve their welfare and take care of their core needs. Maybe they will stop doing Bambiala.
This guy knows their
performing their
nomenclature.
duties.
The only thing missing there is do weekend for us.
Do weekend for us now. Make your
boy happy.
laugh. Make we smile small.
Or make we drink water.
Anyway, That's all we're going to take on the reactions. And a very interesting conversations here, Wake Up Conversation, by the way.
On a serious note, I don't know if the IG has the powers to totally reform. It might, things come from the presidency and the willpower to execute. We need a complete overhaul. The bad press the Nigerian police is getting.
Will the state police make it better?
Every other week. I don't even want to get into that because I don't
Because if it's state policing, it means that although there still be
there
under
might
the
even
umbrella
still be some sort of rivalry between
Yes.
state police and then the federal police.
Absolutely.
Who is properly better taken care of.
Exactly.
Who seems to have more authority.
And then jurisdiction first to get to a crime scene, things like that. Look, they need to really iron out the blueprint for the state police. We can't just say, okay, because we're dealing with insecurity, you throw out, or else you'll be used as a private militia by some of these governors, and it would lead to, they need to, what's the word? They need to iron out,
highlight, yeah.
yes, and work out all
the modalities.
scenarios and
Yes.
modalities before we adopt
But I
state
would
policing.
applaud them, all those who are dragging them. I say in Nigeria, you do, you are damned. You don't, you are damned. So when we see them making an effort to clean up the police, it's not to say, oh, there's nothing good that you people can do. You can't control this.
Have a sense
At
of
least
hopelessness.
they're doing
yes.
something. We
Yeah.
don't have exactly. We don't have a sense of hopelessness. We applaud them for making, such bold statements and taking steps to ensure that they can restore sanity to Nigeria's police force.
Well, I think that's all we're going to take on Wake Up Conversation this morning.
And this last one was
Yeah,
a good
very interesting
about,
conversation.
Yeah,
Do you want to touch
the
on it?
debt profile.
Well,
Yes, I mean the Speaker of the House of Representatives has said, look, our level of borrowing, is this sustainable? And he's saying, this is what he said, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. He says public debt a tool for growth, not a burden at the opening. Anyway, let's just, because of time, you get the gist of the matter. He's saying, look, is this sustainable? But the big...
But then he's come out to now say, his
I-
spokesperson has come out to say that, he's not criticizing, that he's not denying, that he has condemned
fear.
government's borrowing. That it's not like he's condemning government's borrowing. That what he's saying is that public debt, if managed prudently, can be a tool for public growth and prosperity.
It's just an advice. Because I was going to say, aren't they the ones that approved this borrowings in the first place? And yesterday, Senator Dino Melaya, in an interview, said, the level at which the government is borrowing,
They also borrow from some people.
OK and Money Point.
Oh my God.
On that note, I guess we'll wrap up.
Yeah,
Wake Up
sure,
Conversations,
sure,
yeah.
sure.